The Flashes' home opener is in the books. Could the Flashes pull out their first win of the season against Long Island University?
Our TV2 high school football game of the week was one for the books. Could St. Ed stay perfect against Massillon?
And could the volleyball team keep this winning streak alive? We will break that down and a lot more on Sports Corner, which starts right now. Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County, and welcome to Sports Corner. I'm Matt Mergen.
And I'm Liv Sharp. The Kent State football home opener was this weekend, so let's get into the highlights. Kent State looking to set a program record with their 10th straight home win. Guys in gold are ready to get going. QB Colin Schlee, he launches it deep to the end zone. That heads into the arms of Devon Walker. The Flashes, they are going to take an early 7-0 lead. Now it's Long Island University, LIU, QB, Derek Green, he rolls to his left, and he hits running back Owen Glasgow on the wheel route. The Sharks, they're going to tie this game pretty early in the first quarter at 7. Still a lot of game left, folks. Here we go. We've got Colin Schlee, QB Colin Schlee. He hands it to true freshman running back Gavin Garcia, who punches it in from 12 yards out. That's his first career TD, and that makes it 28-10, Kent State. Late in the first half, LIU on to punt, and the punt is blocked by guess who? Gavin Garcia. JB Awolo picks it up and takes it 34 yards to the house for the score. Flashes lead 35-10 after that play. Schlee, he rolls to his left, makes a defender miss, and fires it to Dante Cephas in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Kent State extends their lead 42-10. Now we've got backup QB Devin Cardman in for the Flashes. He finds Trell Harris for the score. Flashes go up 56-10. And you guessed it, folks. You all know what's coming. Another possession, another score for the Golden Flashes. Freshman Shaquille Carson breaks this one 16 yards for the score. Flashes win 63-10. And here's what Coach Lewis, Colin Schlee, and Zayn West had to say after the game.
And I learned a couple good lessons last week, so I think we had a little bit of a chip on our shoulder for this week, so we handled what we needed to do out there on the field well, and just ready for next week. It was a very cool experience. Obviously I played out there before, but never started the game off, so it was a really cool experience in that matter, and I was just excited to come away with a win. It's all about the team, so any way we can find a way to win, that's just what we're going to do. Yeah, it did. Usually I like to get settled in, maybe it's my feet or throwing in the air, but it's good to get that off on the first drive, get a 50-yard touchdown. So
a little slow with the defense. We fell into the game plan and we picked things up, finished how we should. I was just basically come on the sideline, playing to our standard. Like, we shouldn't let these things happen. Like we talked about it all week, our game plan overwhelmed with our style of football, just dominate. So we got back to the basics.
Great to set a program record with that. Obviously, handling the first 10 days and learned a lot from that. Thought we grew as a team today and had a very efficient day in all three phases, settled into the game. Overall, great win, great to set program records that we can continue to build upon. It's an awesome time to be a Kent State Golden Flash, and we need the whole of the Northeast Ohio to show up here in 2 weeks when we got conference play opening up. There's an electric environment today, but I know that we can do better because our fan base is unbelievable, and we all need to be here at Dick Stadium in 2 weeks when we battle Ohio. A really good team that hasn't lost a home game since 2019. That's won 10 straight. Like, everyone needs to know that. We got to share that story, all right? And so I need everyone in Flash Fast Nation and part of Kent State, all right, speaking directly to the camera. It's like, in 2 weeks, we got to pack this thing. Like, this thing holds just over 20,000 people. Like, let's fill it up. Our undergraduate student population by itself is 20,000 people. Like, there should be general admissions, like, hey, overflow of student people, like, where are we putting them? Like, D-Rush and his crew should be like, well, where's everyone going? Figure it out. And let's go, standing room only, and make this thing even better because our kids work so hard, and we are so proud to be able to share this and do this for the community. With everything else that's going on in this world, okay, let's come together and rally around some kids that work incredibly hard, that sacrifice for one another, that believe in delayed gratification, right? And they just want to put on a show and have fun and party with all the great people in Northeast Ohio. That's what we need to do. But it's great to be home.
Kent State was able to pick up a major win with a final score of 63-10. Shulee, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cooper, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Cephas, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. Kent State, like I said, 63-10. They looked really convincing in this win. And Liv, I personally was really impressed with Kent State and how they played against LIU. In your opinion, what were the pros and cons of this matchup?
Honestly, a lot of good things to say about Kent State. We knew they were going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Really tough losses to Washington and Oklahoma. They came in and they executed really well. There were some questions circulating about Colin Shulee, but he put those to bed. He had a great day. He went 10 for 12. Like you said, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, plus a 50-yard punt. My one thing is that he can't be punting too much. I'd be worried about possible injuries, but I understand there were some behind-the-scenes issues, but you got to protect Shulee. The defense did amazing. I don't think you could ask for much more.
I have to agree, Liv. I loved what I saw out of Kent State. 556 total yards and averaged 9.1 yards per play. That is some great offense. Rushing attack, firing on all cylinders, 353 yards in total. And overall, I was impressed with the defense. They only gave up 10 points, looked solid throughout the entire game. And the Nico Bolden and Khalid Johns with 12 tackles combined and a sack. Great overall play. And my only real concern with this Kent State team, it goes back to what I said last week, is they did have more penalties than LIU. And when you play good teams later on, you can't make silly mistakes like that or it will cost you games. And Kent also played at a significantly faster pace than LIU with way less time of possession. And while it was good to score fast, as Kent State was able to do, I just hope that that fast offense doesn't lead to reckless turnovers against better teams, like Georgia, for example. And like I said, Colin Shulee and Coach Sean Lewis, they were able to speak on their upcoming matchup against Georgia.
We need to do better during the practice, during the week. We need to hold everybody to the highest standard that we possibly can. And,
this is my question.
Just focus on us. It's always going to be about us, like Coach Lewis says. So we're not really worried about Georgia. We're worried about us.
As we go forward, play the Georgia Bulldogs, and looking forward to getting on the road on Friday and going to test ourselves yet again before we jump into conference play. Here's the thing, right?
Lewis is taking his time.
You said it. They've surrendered 10 points through 3 games. They're averaging 43 points offensively. It is probably, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say it's the greatest collection of talent that's ever been assembled on a football team because of the work that Coach Smart, his staff, and the tireless, relentless effort that they've put into building a program to an elite level. Again, the standard that they have and the expectation that they have because of the leadership of Coach Smart, the way that they've developed their talent, super disciplined. They're long, they're fast, they're physical, and I can't wait to go compete in that arena.
Now for our picks for the Georgia versus Kent State game. Look, I love this team, I really do, but I think they're going to fall to the Bulldogs 56-3. Coach Lewis said it himself, this is possibly the greatest collection of student athletes ever. Georgia's #1 ranked. They're an absolutely amazing team, and I just don't see Kent State getting it done at all. I think hopefully they'll be able to score a field goal. I'm thinking sometime during the second half, but I'm picturing it's going to be a really rough week for the Golden Flashes. But when they come back home to Ohio, different story.
And for my prediction, I picked Georgia to win 63-7. As much as I would want to see Kent State put up a fight against Georgia, I love the underdog teams. This Georgia team is just too good. We've seen what they've done to previous opponents so far early in the season. I do believe Kent State can score a touchdown. I hope they prove that to be right. So we will see. But yeah, my final score, I got 63 Georgia, Kent State 7.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mara O'Malley, here to give you a little recap of what's new with the women's Kent State volleyball team. Kent State women's volleyball team dominated Cleveland State on Thursday, sweeping them in 3 sets. This is the 5th straight win for the Golden Flashes. Freshman Mia Sorensen and senior Savannah Matthews led the Flashes with 13 kills each, while graduate student Alex Hafner had her 4th double-double of the season with 33 assists and 11 digs. Graduate student Aaron Gardner led the defense with 13 digs. Kent State volleyball kept it going, though, the next day when they took on Youngstown State. The Kent State volleyball team battled hard to take the win 3-2 sets against Youngstown last Friday. After losing the first set to Youngstown, Kent took the next 2 sets and then finished them off in the 5th. Senior Savannah Matthews had a big night with a season high of 20 kills and 18 digs. Graduate student Danny Tyson matched her season high with 13 kills and totaled 4 blocks. As a result of these big wins, Kent swept the MAC East Player of the Week awards. The volleyball team will be back in action on Friday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. in the MAC.
The Flash's cross-country team competed on Friday at the Spartan Invitational. The men's team finished 4th out of 18 teams. Junior Joe Farley and sophomore Beatty Baugh respectively had top 10 finishes. The women's team finished 9th out of 19 teams, and graduate student Leah Lyle and sophomore Sydney Gallagher led the way along with 2 other teammates, finishing in the top 100. The Flashes will return to action on Saturday, October 1st at the Live and Lou Classic in Louisville, Kentucky.
Kent State women's field hockey team kicked off conference play with a win against Appalachian State. After being defeated by Maine 3-1 the previous weekend, the Flashes bounced back against the Mountaineers with a 2-1 win at home. And some notable performances include Augustina Florio and Jenna Magruden, each scoring a goal for the Flashes. Kent State continues conference play where they are slated to take on Ball State at home this Friday at 2 o'clock. And when we come back, we had some great Friday night football action, so stay with us for highlights on the games.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Massillon, Washington, St. Edwards, to Paul Brown Tiger Stadium we go for this battle of powerhouse programs. And we go to Paul Brown Tiger Stadium where the Tigers hosted the St. Edwards Eagles. Here we go. This is going to be a great matchup. And the Tigers, to get us started, they're going to kick off to St. Ed's. And Keon Mason, he is back to return for the Eagles. And here, he is going to break away on this play. That's Mason. He is gone. What a start for the Eagles. 7-0 out of the gate. Talk about a big momentum shifter for St. Ed's right off the bat. And the Tigers, they start early in a hole. Jalen Slaughter is going to drop back, and he is going to hit Ardell Banks on a slant route. Banks, he's going to take it to the bank. That's cash. Tigers cut the deficit to 14-7. And now on the next play, Slaughter again. He's going to look for his man. He's going to lob it up to the cash cow. What a grab for the touchdown. Ardell Banks again. The bank is always open. He's a 3-star recruit committed to Toledo, and Massillon needed him in this game. And now Casey Bullock, he's going to rip one to the end zone, and it's caught by Grady Lenz-Pfeiffer for the touchdown. Eds takes a 21-19 lead mid-second quarter. Offensive shootout between these two teams. Eds was rolling. This handoff is to Joshua Gribble, and he is going to shoot the gap and take off. No defender is catching him. Gribble gives his team the lead, 28-25 in this back-and-forth game. Eds looking to pick up the road win. Eds was looking to close the deal and rout the clock, but Eds fumbles. The Tigers defense recovers in great field position. Massillon, they're going to have a chance to win here. And what's going to happen is Slaughter, he's going to throw up a prayer to his wide receiver, Tristan Addison, and he's going to bring it down for the score. Tigers, they take a 31-28 lead with 11 seconds left. Paul Brown Stadium is going wild. St. Ed's, they would be able to march down the field and they would get within field goal range, but the kick is not going to be good for St. Edward's here. And the Tigers, they're going to be able to hold on to win with a final score of 31-28. What an upset win this was. Massillon picks up their biggest win yet on the season.
Now to Hoban taking on St. Ignatius. Hoban QB, he's starting here. Jackie Long pitches it to Lamar Sperling, who serves a couple stiff arms to the St. Ignatius defense, and he is gone. He turns that corner, he turns the Jets, and he's going to bring it all the way to the house for a Hoban touchdown. Look at him go. He cannot be stopped. St. Ignatius on offense. We've got quarterback sending a dot to Jonathan Meremy, who outruns a Hoban defender. Look at him go, and he makes it into the end zone, and this will end up being the one and only Ignatius touchdown. Long again with a snap here. He airs this one out all the way to Tyson Gamble. He slides his way into the end zone. And you know what else happens? The Hoban Knights, they slide into a win too, 28-7, upsetting St. Ignatius.
And now we go to Stowe as they host the Brecksville Bees. Here's junior QB Colin Seibert. He had himself a game as he slings this one out for a 25-yard touchdown pass to Cooper Schruck. The Bees trailed for most of the game in this high-scoring shootout, and anytime Stowe scored, Colin Seibert answered the call. And the Bees, they marched down the field, and Seibert finds Logan Doscastle, putting the Bees within a touchdown here. And Stowe, they had no answer for Seibert. He almost had a flawless game, but with a little under 2 minutes to go, Seibert risks it all, and it is underthrown. It's picked. Stowe with a touchdown lead and the ball. Great play by Ryder Spath here. Stowe looked like they were going to win it, and Stowe looked to ice this one away. Quarterback keeper, and it's fumbled. The Bees have it, and it's a fumble for 6. Bees tie this game, and they will go for 2 and the win. And then for the game, Seibert takes off, but it's pitched to Luke Reeser. The running back comes through for his team on the end around. Brecksville, they take the lead 43-42 late in the game, and the Brecksville Bees, they go to Stowe and they suplex the Bulldogs. Bees win with a final score of 43-42.
And we've got the Twinsburg Tigers facing the undefeated Nordonia Knights. Start things off, Nordonia on offense. Joey Palinkis, he's going to take the snap. He's going to take the snap, and he sends a laser to his man, Zach Zender, for the touchdown. Absolutely great throw there. Wonderful job done by Palinkis. Nordonia, they're going to go, you guessed it, back on offense. Here we go. Palinkis, he's going to pitch it to Zender, and Zender is going to take it in for the touchdown. Nordonia is dominating Twinsburg. They're up 28-0. Right now, it's looking like Twinsburg is completely helpless against the Knights. Nordonia, they're going to go on offense one final time in this highlight. Palinkis, he's going to send it to his man, and Twinsburg never stood a chance. They're going to fall to 1-4. Nordonia ices this one away, improves to 5-0, and continues their undefeated streak.
What's up, Portage County? I'm Dom Pagura. I was at the Medina-Strongsville game on Friday, and I've got your highlights. So a big game for Medina and the Mustangs. Senior quarterback Maddox Beard going to take the ball in himself. Mustangs take the lead 7-0. Senior quarterback Danny Stoddard for the Medina Bees. He's going to search for an open receiver, take the ball himself. Big hit, dives over the goal line for the touchdown. Medina 7, Strongsville 7. Here we're going to see Maddox fire the ball to Case McIntyre for the big touchdown. Mustang's going to take a 14-7 lead over the Bees. Here we're going to see Danny Stoddard roll out to the right here, find Jack Wojak, scampers for the touchdown. Medina going to tie the game up at 21. Here we're going to see Danny Stoddard. He's going to roll out, step up in the pocket, fire a big 36-yard touchdown to Austin Knowles in triple coverage. Medina going to score again on the Mustangs. Here we go, Bees finding their groove. Stoddard, he's going to fire to the back corner of the end zone. Jack Wojak's open for another Bees touchdown. And on the next drive, Strongsville's going to get the ball. Beard, he's going to roll out. Fire to the left. It's going to be intercepted by Daniel Toth, cornerback from Medina. He takes it in for the big touchdown. Strongsville is going to get the ball back. Beard drives the length of the field. He's going to set up in the red zone. He'll roll out to his right, looking for an open receiver. Using his legs, taking it himself. In for 6. Strongsville cutting that deficit. Strongsville gets the ball back. Beard looking to make a big play. Fires it deep. Matthew Fallis, the tight end, with a great leaping grab. And he's surprised he got that touchdown. But Medina's going to get the ball back. Proved to be too much. Carlos Corchado touchdown. Medina wins.
Thank you, Dom. Now let's take a look at some Ohio high school football scores. Olmsted Falls 42, North Ridgeville 10. Woodridge, they snuck by Norden 28-21, and then Copley and Roosevelt. Talk about a game. Roosevelt 59-50. What a shootout that one was. And then McKinley, they just waxed Green 51-19. And then Mogador, they won a low-scoring game 18-14 against Lucas. So, Liv, which high school team caught your eye this past Friday the most?
My high school football standout was Nordonia. They were in control the entire game, held the Tigers to only 3 points, and just absolutely ran over the Tigers' defense. So Twinsburg came in with really high expectations of the season. They had a brand new head coach, but they still seem to fall flat and they can't make the plays they need to. And it's honestly a little disappointing to see.
I have to agree with it, but for me, I said I was impressed with the Brecksville Bees win over the Stowe Bulldogs. I think Brecksville, they picked up their first win in a gritty game against Stowe, and Stowe, they held the lead for the entire game all the way up until the final minute. I was impressed with the Brecksville Bees team because it is not easy to go shot for shot while trailing and be able to climb all the way back and win. And credit to their coach for having the guts to go for 2 in regulation. It was a gutsy call and they were rewarded for it. Brecksville, they picked up a major win, and them forcing a fumble with under 2 minutes left and that 2-point decision were their 2 biggest plays of the game. And then I was also impressed with the Tigers beating Eds. Again, the defense made the stop that they needed, and for that offense to stay poised and pull off a win with less than 10 seconds is amazing.
Saturdays are for who? Well, no one but college football. We have the highlights on what went down in this week of the season.
Wait, mate. Then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Welcome back, everyone. We're heading down to the Horseshoe now as the Buckeyes took on the Rockets of Toledo University and are looking to stay a perfect 3-0 on the year. Things are all tied up in the first. Stroud, he's going to take the snap. He's going to drop back. He's in the pocket. He's got plenty of time here. He finds Marvin Harrison Jr. for a quick 8-yard touchdown. Toledo says no way, but the refs say it's good. Buckeyes are up 14-7. Ohio State back on offense. Stroud with the handoff to Emeka Egbuka. He's running. He breaks a tackle and he dives for the pylon. Score is now 21-7. 18 seconds left in the first. CJ Stroud looking around. The pocket collapses. He avoids defenders and he threads the needle to Julian Fleming. He finds him in the end zone and the Buckeyes go up 28-7 to end the first quarter. Alrighty, we've got Toledo on offense now in the second. QB Daquan Finn, the keeper, he's off and running. He's looking like Lamar Jackson, and he takes it in himself for the 23-yard touchdown. Toledo cuts the Ohio State lead to 14. 2nd and 1, Buckeyes on the 7-yard line. Stroud fakes the handoff, finds Marvin Harrison Jr. in the very back of the end zone, and Marvin Harrison Jr., he flashes a heart to the student section. Buckeyes, they're rolling. 51 seconds left in the half. Stroud making this game look easy. He sends a dart to Julian Fleming, 42-14 to end the half. But Ohio State, they're going to end with a commanding win over Toledo. 77-21 sends the Rockets to 2-1, and Ohio continues on undefeated 3-0.
And now we got number 1 Georgia taking on unranked South Carolina. The Bulldogs, they got to get off to a hot start early. Brock Bowers is going to take this one. He's going to take it to the end zone. Bulldogs set the tempo here early with the game's first score. And the Bulldogs, they were knocking on the door again. Kendall Milton, he's going to bulldoze his way for the touchdown. Georgia, they take a convincing 14-0 lead over the Gamecocks. And this one looked like it could get ugly. Georgia, again, their shutout is continuing. And Bennett lobs this one up to Bowers, and he makes the grab. Brock Bowers with his second touchdown of the game. 21-0 Georgia, and the Bennett to Bowers connection was alive in this game. The duo connects again, and Bowers, he's going to break loose and jukes out a defender, and he will go all the way for Georgia. Bowers with 3 touchdowns on the game. What a game he had. And the Bulldogs, they're just routing the Gamecocks. 31-0 Bulldogs. And then Georgia dominated time of possession. Bennett proving all game what he can do with his arm, and now he shows off the mobility, and the QB takes us to the end zone. Bennett picks up a rushing touchdown, and now QB Carson Beck, the back, he's going to get some game action, and he slings this one to a wide open wide receiver downfield. Oscar Delp gets the touchdown, and the Bulldogs would go on to win 48-7 in this one. What a win for the Bulldogs.
Auburn, both undefeated. Sean Clifford hands it off to Katron Allen, and he shoves his way into the end zone. Nittany Lions up 14-6. Next play for Singleton. He takes the handoff, and he gets his way into the touchdown. Lions rolling along 21-6, and nobody puts Singleton in the corner. Auburn on offense. Robbie Ashford airs it out, but it's picked. Penn State picks off Auburn, and he's still going. He can't be brought down. Auburn, they're going to take another shot here on offense. Take a look. Ashford, he's going to send it over to Jaquez Hunter, and he leaps over a defender and jets down the sideline for the Auburn touchdown. Scores now 31-12. Penn State leads. Still in the fourth. Singleton, he's going to take this handoff, and he is going. Gone! He wins the foot race against an Auburn defender, and he ices this one for the Nittany Lions. They get a dominating 41-12 lead and continue their undefeated season.
And now we go to Kyle Field, where Texas A&M is taking on Miami. Defensive showdown here with the score at 3 apiece. Constantinu punts this to Miami's Tyreek Stevenson. The punt is muffed. Chris Russell recovered it for A&M. Major momentum shifter, and they will take over. Texas A&M, the whole crowd's going wild, and they're going to break the tie as running back L.J. Johnson. He's going to punch it in for the touchdown late in the first quarter. Upset alert here for Texas A&M. They're going to try and get back on track. And the Aggies holding onto a slim lead. Quarterback Max Johnson steps up and hits Devin a chain. Look at the speedster go. Breaks 2 tackles, and he finds his way into the end zone. The Aggies making a statement on that 25-yard touchdown reception. What a play by a Kane. And then with 34 seconds left, Tyler Van Dyke tried to make some end for Miami. 4th and 4, and it's incomplete. Great defensive stop, turnover on downs. The Aggies, they pick up an upset over number 13 ranked Miami with a final score of 17-9.
Take a look at Oregon and BYU. Bo Nix takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and he takes it in himself. He's grabbed at the one, but he leans in to get Oregon on the board. Jaron Hall drops back. He's got some pressure, but he sends this dot 28 yards to Isaac Rex, the tight end, and he just jogs in for the touchdown. Oregon is still up 10-7. Now, still in the second, Bo Nix with the ball, drops back, looks around, and sends a 15-yard laser to Terrence Ferguson, and the Ducks lead 24-7 going into the half. Let's get into some third quarter action. Nix, the keeper, once again, he runs in, lunges into the end zone, and Oregon is building up quite a lead, 31-7. Jaron Hall looking around, he's got an open man in Cody Epps. He gets his feet down, and it is a Cougar touchdown to start the fourth. First and goal, Jaron Hall falters a little bit, but he still makes the handoff to Christopher Brooks, and Christopher Brooks struts in for the touchdown. But the ensuing two-point conversion is no good, and the Oregon Ducks will end up taking this one 41-20.
Then we got Michigan State visiting the Washington Huskies. Michael Penix Jr. dropped back here, and he throws a laser to La Papa, and for the touchdown score, Washington running with this one, and then Penix again drops back, pump fake here. He got the camera guy and throws a dime to Jalen Polk. Polk had a 3-touchdown game against the Spartans, along with 153 yards. Now, early in the third, the Spartans needed to get something going, and they call on Trey Mosley, who makes a spectacular catch over 2 defensive backs. Spartans, they cut the deficit, and then Washington early in the third would put the ball in the hands of Penix, and he launches one to wide open Jalen Polk for the touchdown. Penix had just under 400 yards on the game, 4 touchdowns. And the Spartans, they were still fighting late. Peyton Thorne, he winds up, and he's going to hit Keon Coleman on this deep ball for the touchdown to cut the lead. Spartans cut to a 2-score game. Then Thorne again trying to make some happen on 4th down. Looks right, and it's batted down. The Washington Huskies move on to 3-0 and hand the Spartans their first L of the season. So, Liv, what college team impressed you the most this past weekend?
It's got to be Ohio State, hands down. I know people are saying that the Toledo game was a write-off, but you got to have a spectacular team in order to start dominating early and keep that up the whole way through. C.J. Stroud was 22 for 27, 365 yards, 5 TDs to 5 different receivers. Ohio State is coming home with a national championship this season. Mark my words. They are here to play and dominate.
Ohio State did look pretty convincing in that game. I do think it'll be tough when they do run into Georgia, but I do think Ohio State is capable of doing that. But I was impressed with Texas A&M. They suffered that loss to App State, which was a tough loss for them, and people were asking questions about this team and how they perform against Miami. And what's interesting about this Miami game, when you look off stats alone, all stats would point towards Miami winning this game. More passing yards, rushing yards, yards per play was the same, first downs, time of possession, everything was going for Miami. But that impressed me about the Aggies. They won the turnover battle. That one fumble, it matters. A&M took care of the ball, and they were able to steal a win, which was an upset over Miami to reestablish credibility with this team this season. It's reassuring to see them get a win for that program.
And when we come back, we will have all things NFL and give you the highlights. So stick around with us because you will not want to miss it.
Myth. If you get COVID-19, you'll recover after a few days. That myth is false. We're only just beginning to understand the effects of COVID-19 on the human body, as we're starting to see more and more people identifying as long haulers who are having symptoms for weeks, if not months, after their initial infection. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Together, we can keep COVID out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back, everyone. The Jets flew in from New York to play the Brownies for Cleveland's home opener, and away to First Energy Stadium we go. Let's pick things up at the end of the first. Jacoby Brissett hands it to Chubb, and Chubb takes it outside and rushes in for the TD. Browns strike first. They are up 7-0. 15 ticks to go in the first half. Joe Flacco drops back, looks around. He finds Breece Hall, who runs it in for the TD, and we are all tied up at the half. Now to the fourth, Chubb gets the ball. He's looking for an open route. He's dodging, he's weaving, he's breaking ankles. He lunges for the end zone, and he makes it in. Browns lead 24-7. Browns back on offense. Who else could it be but Nick Chubb? Look at that killer stiff arm. He can't be stopped. And with 2 minutes left to go, the Browns are up 13. Now, we've got Cade York for the point after attempt. He misses it, but hey, what does it matter? The Browns are up 2 scores. They just have no timeouts. What could go wrong? Surprise! With 1:31 left, Joe Flacco airs it out and sends it all the way down to Corey Davis for a 66-yard touchdown. It's fine, though. There's still time. Score is 24-30. They're still down by 6. But wait, there's more. The Jets try the onside kick, and the Browns can't recover it. The Jets recover the onside kick and get the ball. Excellent field position with a minute to go. Flacco marches the Jets down the field. Flacco takes the snap. He's looking for an open man, and OSU alum Garrett Wilson gets the touchdown. And the Jets take the lead with 22 seconds to go. But there's always a chance. The Browns on offense. Jacoby throws a pass, but it's picked. It's picked. The Jets have done the impossible and win it in a thriller in Cleveland. Unbelievable. The Browns fall to 1-1 and the Jets improve to 1-1.
And we go around the NFL. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is going to drop back to passing. He's going to launch this one to Nelson Agholor down the sideline. Agholor gets the touchdown before the half, gives the Patriots a 10-3 lead. He had 110 receiving yards on the game. What a game for Agholor. And then now late in the third, Damian Harris, he's going to punch this one in for the score. Patriots, they take a commanding 17-6 lead here over the Steelers. And then Mitch, he's going to drop back and hits Pat Freiermuth for the touchdown strike. Gives the Steelers crowd some life in a one-score game. But Mac Jones and crew, they would get down the field. Great blocking by that offensive line. Damian Harris gets the first down. That's the ball game. Patriots, they go on to win with the final score of 17-14.
Panthers, Giants. Baker Mayfield takes a snap, drops back. He airs this one out to DJ Moore. DJ Moore doing a little somersault, and they give the Panthers the lead. Daniel Jones taking the handoff, sends it to Daniel Bellinger, who runs and dives for the pylon and ties things up at 13 with 9 minutes left in the third. Giants, they're hoping to go 2-0, stay undefeated. It's Graham Gano attempting a 56-yarder, and it is good. The Giants beat the Panthers 19-16. Unbelievable. Matt Rule and the Panthers go 0-2 to start the season.
Then we go to Baltimore. The Dolphins kick off to the Ravens at home, and Devin Duvernay is going to receive the kick, and he's going to break away from every Dolphins defender. No one is going to catch this man, and the Ravens, they take a commanding 7-0 lead. What a statement by Baltimore early. 7-0 out of the gate, 103-yard touchdown return, and now we go to the third. Dolphins down 3 scores. Tua, he's going to thread the needle to Mike Gesicki. Dolphins, they're only down 14, and now late in the third, Lamar doing what he does best. Quarterback keeper, and Lamar is going to the house. No one's catching him. Ravens, they're up 3 scores once again over the Dolphins. Big touchdown for the Ravens. I would think the game was over, but the Dolphins, they would come back. 19 seconds left, and it is Tua time. Tua, he's going to find Jalen Waddle, and it is caught. Dolphins, they beat the Ravens behind Tua's 6 touchdowns and 400-plus yards. Big win for the Fins.
Bucs Saints, things are getting a little chippy early. Mike Evans takes a shot at Marshawn Lattimore. That'll lead to a few ejections and a 1-game suspension for Evans. But let's get to the game, ladies and gents. We start to the fourth. Brady with the ball. He's looking around for an open man. He fires, sends this one to Brashad Perryman for a 28-yard touchdown. The Buccaneers lead 10-3. Now we have famous Jameson, the Saints, dropping back. He's looking. He sends this one to the defense. He's picked off by Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards is off and running. He cannot be stopped, and Edwards will return the ball for a 68-yard touchdown. Bucs will win this one 20-10.
And then we go to the city of Detroit, where Jared Goff is escaping the pocket and throwing dimes as he finds Amon-Ra St. Brown for the score. 12-0 Lions early, and then Jared Goff, he's going to drop back again. He hits this check down to DeAndre Swift, and he's going to do the rest. Evades multiple Commander defenders for the score. Swift makes it look too easy. Lions, they make a 2-score game, and late in the fourth, Play action pass here by Commander Carson leads to a Jahan Dotson touchdown. Commanders cut the lead late in the game, but the extra point, it's shanked. Commanders go on to lose 39-28 to the Lions.
Down Kyler Murray, he's got the ball. He can't find an open man, so he takes off and he scores the touchdown himself. Cardinals, they've got an opportunity to send this game to overtime. Murray's trying the two-point conversion. This is it for overtime. He's directing traffic, and he finds a man in the back of the end zone, and the catch is made. We go to overtime in Viva Las Vegas. Derek Carr, he finds an open man. Renfro got the ball. He's fighting for some yards, but it comes loose, and the Raiders cannot corral it. And Byron Murphy scoops it up, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. And the Cardinals win in a shocker in overtime after being down 20 points.
And then Cooper Rush filling for Dak here. He's going to roll out right, play action, throw a dime to Noah Brown. What a start to the year Noah Brown has been having. He's been having a great year so far. And then Joe Burrow, he would respond rolling to his right. Bengals, they trailed the whole game, but they would tie the game on this touchdown score to T. Higgins. Great pass, great catch. With 2 seconds left, though, Brett Maher, he's going to drill this field goal at the horn, and the Cowboys win as time expires, sending the Bengals home with an 0-2 record.
Let's wrap this up with some Sunday Night Football. Bears at Packers. Rodgers tosses it to Aaron Jones. He's breaking ankles and tackles, and he brings it to the house for a Packers touchdown. Packers lead 10-3. Aaron doing it again, running it back with Aaron Jones. Looks like the same play, but it's not. The Packers now lead 17-7. Time, it's ticking down in the fourth. Fields is scrambling, trying to escape the pocket, and he does, but his throw is picked off, and the Packers will win 27-10.
Liv, there was a lot of great football this past weekend, but let's talk about the Browns. What are your pros and cons for the Browns?
Well, look, my pros have to be the offense. Jacoby Brissett, honestly, a bit of a lackluster performance last week, but he did really well this week. I was really impressed with what I saw, and I think that shows a lot of promise for the next 9 weeks that we'll have Brissett as our starter. Unfortunately, it's got to be the secondary as my con. They were missing plays, they really didn't do well, and they allowed what usually is a relatively poor Jets offense to score and even win the game. That last 2 minutes, things like that should not be happening. I think it's time for a change at defense, and I hope that the Browns can pull out a win.
My pro was the run game. I think it was extremely important for them to be even in this game. Nick Chubb, 17 carries, 87 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hunt, 13 carries, 58 yards. This is the best 1-2 punch running back duo in the league. People can argue Jones and Dillon in Green Bay, but I think it's these two dogs in Cleveland. Seeing positive production from both is an encouraging sign for your squad. But my major con, like you said, is the secondary. It looks atrocious. We all saw that collapse against the Jets. And when they play teams in the future, such as the Chargers, the Bills, the Saints, the Bucks, all those teams have top receiving corps, and it could be a very scary time for the Browns. Their secondary needs to be prepared for those teams, or we could see some ugly games against those groups and QBs. My only other note, K. York did miss that extra point. He can't miss that. It was very concerning to see, but the kicker is still just a rookie. Wonders bound to happen. And we all saw what he was able to do week 1. But again, extra points, they got the automatic. We all saw what he could do week 1. We just need to see these kicks like that more consistently.
Let's get into some Monday Night Football updates. 2 games for you. Let's start off with the Eagles at the Vikings. Not much action going on in the first quarter. They're tied 0-0.
Update for you. Bills, they're up 10-7 over the Titans. I'm cheering for the Bills in this one. Let's go. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. And like I said, Bills 10-7. I hope they get the dub. And when we come back, could the Guardians get the magic number down to 12? We'll be right back.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be, with the high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all. we approach this problem of reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Welcome back to Sports Corner. The Guardians finished up a 5-game series with division rival Minnesota earlier today, so let's check it out. Josh Naylor up to bat in the first. That's my man, and bam, that is going, gone. He cleared the seats, and that's into the concourse for a 3-run home run. That'll put the Guards up 3-2-0. Right now, Stephen Kwan up to bat with a line drive to right field, but Wallner misses it, and that will send Stephen Kwan to third, and he will rack up an RBI. Guards lead 4-0, and look at him. He's turning on the Jets, and I dare you, ladies and gentlemen, find me a better Rookie of the Year pick. You can't. You just can't do it. Now we head to the top of the 6th. Nick Gordon sends this one out to not quite the bullpen, but still a home run all the same. The Twins still trail the Guards 3-2-4. What a bomb. I mean, the Guards were lucky. No one was on base there. Now we head to the bottom of the 6th. Ahmed Rosario, he wants in on the home run action, and he sends this one to the home run porch. That makes 11 home runs for Ahmed this season, and the Guardians are up big time, 7-4. Guardians hoping to put the Twins to bed. Not done yet, though. The mailman, Luke Maley, is up to bat, and he wants a home run, too, and he's going to get one. And much like the mailman, the Guardians deliver and get a resounding 11-4 win. They win the series against the Twins, taking 4 games to Minnesota's 1.
Then looking at the AL Central standings, we got the Guardians sitting at number 1, 80-67. White Sox, they're not too far behind, 76-71. They got a series coming up with the Guardians. Twins, 73-74, sitting in third comfortably. Royals, they're 58-89, and the Tigers, they're in dead last. They're at 55-91.
With the Twins, that'll start tomorrow evening on the 20th. That's a 5-game series. They'll play 1 game a night, hopefully no rain delays, and then they've got a series with the Rangers on the 23rd and the 24th. We're hoping that the Guards can take the 3-game series against the White Sox.
And Liv, like you just pointed out, that White Sox series, it's going to be a big series for the Guards. And the AL Central, it's coming down to the wire. Do you think the Guards hold on, and what are your thoughts on their upcoming series with the White Sox?
Absolutely, I think they do. Magic numbers, 12. And the White Sox, they're coming in with an axe to grind. They want to win this series. They want to make a comeback to the AL Central. Savali, he's going to start tomorrow night. He's going to start the series pitching. He's back after a long time gone, and I sadly don't see the Guards winning this game. It was a long weekend with Minnesota. We all saw that crazy extra innings game, and I think they're going to fall tomorrow night. However, I see them winning games 2 and 3 against the Sox with McKenzie, a.k.a. Dr. Sticks, and our ace, Shane Bieber, pitching.
I agree. I think the Guards will hold on to first in the Central. I think there's more added pressure to the White Sox than there is on the Guards. The White Sox, they need to win games and climb, while the Guards just need to hold off in first place. The White Sox need things to go their way, and the Guards and the White Sox have split a decent amount of games this year. And if the Guards are able to win 2-1 in the upcoming 3-game series, that should be enough to have enough breathing room to get first in the AL Central.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Corrali. Tonight on the Corrali Countdown, we've got game winners, gutsy performances, and dominating outings from players and teams all across the country. But who will take the #1 spot? Let's find out as we head to the countdown. Starting things off at number 10, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They're at home against the Toledo Rockets, a game that they should win, right? And they did, to the tune of a 77-10 final score. That offense for the Buckeyes showed their dominance from start to finish, and they proved why they deserve to hold on to that #3 spot in the college football playoff rankings on Saturday night. We're now going to go keeping things in college football at number 9, our very own Kent State Golden Flashes. After dropping their first 2 games against Washington and Oklahoma on the road, Kent State at home in their home opener took down LIU 63-10. That is their 10th straight consecutive win at home, which is now a program record. A big day for Kent State fans all around. At number 8, keeping things in college football, we're going to now transition to Auburn, Alabama, because Penn State had a big test going into SEC territory against the Auburn Tigers, and they dominated by the final score of 41-12. The Nittany Lions have made a statement on why they belong back at the top of the conversation of teams in the Big Ten. Penn State with the big win. At number 7, the Jacksonville Jaguars, something I never thought I'd say on the Countdown, but at their home opener against the Colts, they came in heavy underdogs, and they shut out Indianapolis, who was the favorite to win the AFC South, or at least make a playoff push, by the final score of 24-0. Jacksonville with a huge upset early in the year in week number 2. We're now going to take things to Friday Night Lights. At number 6, the first high school team on the Countdown, the Brecksville Bees. They beat Stowe on the road 43-42 for their first win of the year. That win now for Brecksville, that gives them so much momentum going into the home stretch, as we are now at the halfway point of the high school football regular season in the state of Ohio, and we'll look to ride that wave of wins. I mean, look at this sack. That's looking like Lawrence Taylor. That's just nasty. At number 5, taking things to the diamond, the Cleveland Guardians. There's a song that she goes, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. And that's exactly what the Guardians have done in this last week. They just keep on winning, and it was highlighted by a 15-inning win on Saturday night thanks to a walk-off single from shortstop Ahmed Rosario. And these Guardians, they won today, like we mentioned earlier in the show. The magic number is 12 to clinch the AL Central Division and a spot in the playoffs. At number 4, the Massillon Tigers. They welcomed in one of the best teams in the nation to their house and won in a shootout of a game by the final score of 31-28. And that game went down to the final moments. The Tigers improved to 4-1 on the season and earned one of their biggest wins in 2022 thanks to that touchdown pass with 11 seconds left to go. We're now going to take things back to college football and the Saturday mania that happened in week 3 of the college football season. At number 3, welcome back to the Countdown, Appalachian State. They get on game day, they're facing Troy, they're down 2, and they do this on a Hail Mary deflection that goes into the end zone. Hail Mary, more like Hail Matin. App State is having a season to remember, not only for the fans, but for the students, the community, and the entire city of Boone, North Carolina. At number 2, Tua Tagovailoa. He goes into Baltimore on Sunday and silences all the doubters to the tune of 6 passing touchdowns. No one has done it in the aqua and orange since Dan Marino and Bob Greasy, who are 2 Hall of Famers. I'm just saying. The Dolphins win 42-36. And speaking of great finishes, at numero uno, the New York Jets coming back from down 30-17 with 1:55 left in Cleveland. You see that touchdown pass to Corey Davis, 65 yards out. They recover an onside kick, and he finds Garrett Wilson. The PAT later on ensues a win for the Jets. They give it a 0.3% chance to win. Kids never say die. New York Jets, you are number 1 on the Corrali Countdown.
And when we return on Sports Corner, we'll head into our award-winning segments.
Things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to Sports Corner. It's time for my Mergen Minute and Liv's sharpest take, so let's get started. And for my Mergen Minute this week, I am giving my way too early NFL MVP predictions through 2 weeks. Josh Allen is still my favorite to win the award, and I still believe the Bills are the best team in football to date. They're loaded on offense with a great red zone tight end and 2 great receivers. Allen should be in store for a big year. Mahomes is not too far behind as well, and proving that he is that guy without Tyreek Hill. Lamar, Herbert, and Tua aren't too far off either, as all 3 have had great performances. The only losses any of these quarterbacks have are to each other. Herbert and Lamar need to be on this list off talent alone. And as for Tua, he's the NFL passing leader and touchdown leader through 2 weeks. He needs to be on this list. He's earned it through 2 weeks of the season.
Throw it away.
And for my man on the Silver Mountain this week, I went with Joe Flacco. Flacco is now 19-3 all-time against the Browns, and even with a 2-touchdown deficit with a minute 22 to go, the man found a way to get it done. He completed a 66-yard touchdown pass to Corey Davis in crunch time, and then a 15-yard touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson to win it with 22 seconds left, and the former Super Bowl champ showed that he still has a little left in the tank by throwing for 4 touchdowns and 307 yards. Flacco's ability to step up in the big moments is why he is my man on the Silver Mountain this week.
All right, this is not going to be received well, and it may even be an overreaction, but I'm going to say it. My sharpest take, the Los Angeles Rams are not going to the Super Bowl, and I'd even go as far to say that the Rams aren't going to the NFC Championship. I'm not sure if it's some residual Super Bowl hangover, but they have not looked good this season, and certainly not Super Bowl caliber. They got crushed by the Bills and just barely beat the Falcons, and the Falcons, who are easily one of the worst, if not the worst teams in the NFL. I see them making the postseason, but falling in the NFC semis. Unless there are massive changes in the offense and the defense, I think the Rams will be written off as a flash-in-the-pan team who had a miracle season. My man on the Silver Mountain is Tua Tagovailoa. Look, I'm not the first person to say that Tua is an elite QB, and he may not even be a good QB. He's not Josh Allen, but he did an incredible job yesterday. They were down 21 points going into the 4th, but Tua pulled off a miracle, another Miami miracle, if you will. After being down big the whole game, Tua threw for 5 touchdowns in the second half, and in that same second half, he went 24 for 30, 319 yards, and he threw in total for 6 passing touchdowns. That's the first QB to do that since Dan Marino in 1986, and for that, congratulations, Tua Tagovailoa. You are my man on the Silver Mountain.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Sports Corner.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at TV2KSU Sports for all sports updates regarding Kent State.
And until next week, I'm Matt Mergen.
And I'm Liv Sharp. Have a great rest of your night.
To my block party. Glad you can make it. I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes. I
Right?
mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.